Are you thinking of traveling abroad in 2025? Then you should definitely consider Brazil. Brazil offers incredible opportunities for international students, from free education at world-class universities to monthly stipends that allow you to study and live comfortably. Few countries match this level of support, and the academic route is one of the easiest way to migrate, stay back, and work, and even explore the possibility of naturalizing as a Brazilian citizen. Now, I know some of you have asked me about private university, so in this video, I will start by talking about one private university, and despite being a private university, the school still offers limited scholarships. So one major benefit of private universities in Brazil, is their flexible payment options, which can allow you to pay in installments and the money are not that much. Plus, there is less competition for admission compared to public universities, and this makes it a great option to consider. Hello beautiful people, thank you for dropping by to watch the video. In today's video, I will be sharing with you how you can take advantage of these amazing study opportunities to move to Brazil while keeping your expenses low. So stay tuned, and if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's just get into it. So like I said, I'm going to be starting with the private university. The name of the university is called the University of Passo Fundo, and it's located in Brazil. As you can see, it's a very beautiful university. I took some moments to, do a little research about the faculties, the programs that are offered in this school. I did a little research about the students and, some other things, just to be sure it's actually a good school indeed, and it's actually inspiring, to be honest. So this is the school, and it's a private university, and this school, despite being a private university, like I mentioned earlier, they are also giving scholarship to people, although the scholarship is going to be limited. So right now, I'm just going to be sharing with you the application course so we can walk ourselves through it and see everything in detail. To save time, I downloaded the PDF file from the university site, and I did a translation. This is the copy of what I downloaded, and it says selection process for masters and doctorate courses at the University of Passo Fundo. So this part is just like a brief introduction about the school, which we are really not just going to be looking at. Then after this one, we can go to the second one, which is a public university. So the most important thing in this section is what I just want us to look at, and it says registration and necessary documentation. So what are the things that you need for you to have a successful application? The first, it talks about the time. Registration may be made until this particular time on the deadline stated in the annexes, which we will still check. Okay, that is the midnight of the last day is in February. So registration for the course of interest is done entirely online through filling in registration information and sending documentation on the registration portal, which can be found on this website, via this link, right? So confirmation of registration will only occur upon electronic submission of the documentation specified in the registration portal by deadline informed in the attachment. So let's look at item 2.4. It says candidates must also observe the specificity of each postgraduate program or course described in the program annex. So submission of documentation after the deadline or incomplete submission will result in the non-approval of the enrollment. However, for someone to be approval of application and selection process, all of these things must be met. Approved application will be published on the pages of the respective postgraduate programs. Graduation according to the schedules informed in the program annexes. Okay, because I actually did a translation using Google Translate, there is like a little loss of the tone of what I'm reading. However, I'm going to I will try as much as possible to do justice to it. So The selection processes will take place within the scope of each postgraduate program in accordance with the schedules presented in the program analysis and will be conducted by a selection committee for each program, constituted in accordance with the respective regulation in terms. The stages of the selection process and the evaluation criteria are specific to each program. So what they are saying is that different program, different departments have different criteria. Okay, so whatever department you want to apply to, you have to look at their criteria. So don't take one criteria for all. Okay, so there's going to be interview, but this interview is just going to be either in person or via Google Meet, as it is stated here. The date and time of the interview, as well as the location or link to access the Google Meet virtual room, will be communicated to candidates on the program page and or by email provided by the enrollment. So for the CV evaluation stage, only CV in the latest format will be accepted. So it is important, guys, that you have this CV, especially if you actually want to get a place in Brazil. There are few schools that don't really care about that, but majority of the schools in Brazil care. And even those schools that really don't care at the beginning of your application, once you get there, they will still want you to create a CV on the latest platform. So you can just read, guys, read down, but I want us to kind of look at the most important parts, like the selection or the document that is needed. Okay, just before that, it talks about the scholarship and financial benefits. Candidates approved in the selection process may apply for tuition exemption scholarships. Can you see that? You can apply for that is full exemption scholarship. You can apply for partial payment. Okay, and you can also apply for paid scholarship, which is CAPES. That is CAPES is a scholarship body in Brazil. So, and if you're going to do this, it will be through the notice of CAPES, which is going to be disclosed and published by the academic prorectory of the school. So considering that there's a clause, it says, considering that the number of available scholarships is usually lower than the number of selected candidates, interested parties must undergo a separate application process, selection for scholarship according to the criteria established in a specific notice to be published by academic prorectorate. So candidates who qualify to receive other benefits in the form of discounts resulting from agreements signed between the UPF and companies or other organizations, public or private, must demonstrate this condition during the selection process. Candidates approved for vacancy reserved for the affirmative action may apply for scholarship through this particular notice as well. So UPF, so the school says they will offer students who are not awarded scholarship the possibility of financing of up to 50% of the monthly fee. So what it means is that the school is going to give you, like, it's going to slash it. So the school is going to pay half of the student's fee for you. So the school will just pay half of the money, half of the tuition fee, then you can pay the rest. And even this rest, you can still spread it. If you want, you can spread it and make the payment instrumentally, right? So we still have many information which I believe you can read once you have this particular PDF format. The first one is postgraduate program in administration. You can check, they are looking for 16 and 4, they are looking for 20. So the registration is actually on right now as we speak, and it's going to end on the 4th of February. Okay, and on the 6th of February they will publish the names of people whose registration is approved. That is, they will check all your documents, are they complete. So they will first publish the name, then they will begin every other process of the selection. So this is just the calendar of how everything, and you would most likely start in March. only if you ask for more time, for maybe you are processing your visa and you need more time. Next program is postgraduate program in agronomy. You can read all of this. This one they are looking for 15 people. Then we also have another one, postgraduate program in food science. They are looking for 12. Postgraduate program in computing, people looking for computers, and they are looking for 20 people. Then postgraduate program in law, they are looking for 20. The another one is postgraduate program in mathematics teaching, they are looking for 12. Then the next one is postgraduate program in civil and environmental engineering, they are looking for 20 as well. Then the last one, okay, I think that is the last one, right? No, this is the last one, the postgraduate program in letters. This one they are looking for 12 vacancies. They are looking for 12 people. Oh, sorry, we still have another one, postgraduate program in dentistry, postgraduate program in design and manufacturing processes, and that's the last one. And one of the things I like about this application notice is they also specify the requirement, because usually some university will kind of be silent about that, but in this case they specify that for you to apply for a specific program, this is what you must have, this is their target audience. In this case they say for a master's, if you want to apply for a postgraduate program in letters, for instance, this is what you are supposed to have. The first one is that you must have, if you want to do your PhD, that means you must have. So for the master's degree, graduates with a full degree of bachelor degree in letters and in the following related areas: anthropology, archives, art, library science, computer science, communication, law, education, philosophy, speech therapy, etc. So these are their target audience. So each of these programs have their target audience, so check at it. So the essence of this is that in the case of when you are not seeing a particular name specific, but there could be something where you are eligible for, right? So once you check, it will give you better understanding if you are eligible for it or not. So it will tell you if you are eligible for it or not. So talking about the school fees, the school fee is not mentioned in the PDF format, but on average, Brazilian private school pay between 400, 450 or 500 reais, Brazilian reais every month. And you can try as much as possible to do further research about the school. Try as much as possible to get all the information you might need, or which are not covered in this video. This video is just like a summary for you to know that there is a particular school looking for students, and it is the onus lie on you to do further research about it and check if it actually resonates well with you or not. Okay guys, so this is this second school we're going to be talking about today, and this school is in Rio de Janeiro. Okay, it's Rural University of Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so it's also a very beautiful school, and it's a school where a lot of Brazilians, a lot of stars in Brazil graduated from. So these are some of the information I got, and it's a school with a very good ranking among the universities in Brazil when it comes to the quality of publications that they produce. So master's degree in education postgraduate program, contemporary context and popular demands of Federal University of Rural Rio de Janeiro. Program is intended for those who have a bachelor degree recognized by Ministry of Education Candidates who are in the process of completing their undergraduate may also apply. So for this particular call, there are 43 vacancies. Let's look at the guideline. The first one is that in all cases, candidates registered in these categories must go through all the stages and be approved in the selection process. Each candidate will register in a research line and will compete exclusively for the vacancies of the supervisors chosen at the time of registration. So there will be need for you to indicate that you would once you have looked at all the lecturers that their names are mentioned down under this PDF file, you're going to see which one aligns well with your area of interest. Then you're going to indicate it as part in your application process. When you are filling the form, you're going to indicate the name of the professor, and of course there will be need for you to write a proposal for this particular application. When registering, the candidate must inform 2 teachers that he or she has preference as advisor. So the inform here does not mean you're going to send them email. You can still do, but it is not compulsory, right? So among the members of the program faculty, specifically of the selected research line, the distribution of vacancy per advisor can be found in Annex 1, and I'm going to be checking Annex 1 very soon. Now it says if candidate indicates teachers teachers is professor in this regard, who are not offering vacancies, or indicate professors from different research lines, the registration will be automatically rejected. So what this means is that you need to check the research lines, and you need to check which professor is in what area of in what area. Do you get? For example, if you want to work in the area of curriculum design, for example, don't pick a supervisor who is under basic education. Okay, so make sure that the supervisor you are picking, the 2 of them, they are in the line of your research. So let's just we can all check this, try as much as possible to get this document from the website, whose link I'm going to be dropping in the video description box. So try as much as possible to get this PDF file and read all the instruction carefully. For the sake of time, I may not be able to be reading them line after line, okay, but I'm just trying to scan through so that we can bring out the most important one, that at least you can have an idea of what you're about to do. Your application is going to be submitted online, and this is the link through which the application can be done. The most important part is the documentation required for registration. Let's quickly look at the documentation required for registration. So for you to register for this particular call, few documents are needed: a copy of your identification number, which could be any one of these, right? And if you're a foreigner, you can use your passport, copy of your diploma or document proving the completion of your undergraduate course, then and some other document, then your CV as well. So this particular PDF file says that if you're a Brazilian, then your latest CV is important, but if you're a foreigner, you can also use a CV that is not latest, but at least it must follow the format of a latest CV. So this is the information I got from this PDF file. You can take a time to also read it yourself. There is an application fee attached to this particular one, but don't forget you can always request for fee waiver. After all, you are still qualified because it has not even started yet. So you can try to read on how to go about that from this particular PDF file. Okay, so this is where it talks about the CV. It said people can present this documentation for exemption. Okay, so this is where you can present documentation for exemption fee. Okay, just like I was talking about right now. Then it talks about the curriculum latest updated as of January 1st 2025 or similar model. or similar model. That is, in case you are a foreigner, it is not compulsory, it is a lattice CV, or similar model in the case of foreign candidates, duly proven to each item in Annex X. Okay, so let's just check few of the annexes. So there is a form that's usually attached under. So that is where so this is the calendar of the application process, when the submission, registration period, and when it will end, when the class will begin, everything. So if you're applying towards June, this is a very good one for you. You kind of have an ample time to do all what you need to do, because the class is going to start by, let's say, it's going to be like second semester, and that will be in August or September. Okay, so your CV must follow, they were saying it that the CV must follow a particular format. So your CV is going to be assessed using this criteria. So these are the criteria that they will use to assess your CV. If you noticed what I talked about, lattice CV, there are different sections. So those sections has been written out, and that they are what we have in this particular part of the instruction. This is the name of the research line. The first one, research line number 1, is contemporary studies and educational practices basic. So the second line is social inequalities and educational practices. The third one is ethnic, racial and gender education research line among Afro diasporic language and studies. So they even mention Chimamanda Adichie, We Should All Be Feminist. These are some of the books and some of the publications you're expected to consult when you are writing your proposal. Don't just write a proposal without making reference to all the books or all the resources they mention. Okay, it is very important. I'm just trying to give you a clip, because anytime I'm writing a proposal for anybody, for anything, I usually tailor it directly to what they want to use it for. So because most of the schools in Brazil will tell you, follow this format, these are the resources we want you to consult. So don't just write proposal out of the blues. Okay, let it be tailored made, let it fit into what you want to use it for. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. Don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. I'm rooting for you, and I'm praying that God will grant you success. See you in Brazil very soon. See you the next video. Ciao, ciao.